Now, the Unemployment Insurance Fund says that over 200,000 South African workers they are in line to receive a 1 billion rand in combined payouts. I'm now joined by Teboho Maruping, UIF Commissioner, for more details. Mr. Maruping, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you're saying that thousands of people qualifying to receive UIF payments may not get their money on time, if at all. Why, sir?
Good morning, my brother. Just to give you a precise number, it's 289,000 employees who are waiting patiently to receive their payouts. But because some of these companies are not compliant, we are not able to pay 1.1 billion rand that is due to these employees. What has happened when the company applies for the COVID-19 TERS benefit, we pick up that most of these employees are not registered with UIF and they have not been declared for a number of months, or sometimes it's a number of years. And all we're asking these companies is, if you've applied for your employees and you know you have not declared, write to UIF and tell us which employees you have not applied for, and also how you're going to make up the payment that you have not paid to UIF for the past few months or a few years.
Now, you're also saying that some companies are simply refusing to claim for their employees. Why would they do that?
My suspicion, it could be again issues of compliance, that some of them know that they have not registered or declared or even contributed to UIF. And if they claim, we would be able to pick it up and may send our inspectors to their companies, and therefore they stay away from applying.
But maybe take us through the process that you follow at the UIF when one applies.
Okay, the process is quite straightforward. You go online and you apply. Once you've uploaded your employee details, we run that employee record against our database, which is where we keep all the records of companies and employees that has been declared. When we do a comparison, we can pick up that a person has applied for 10, but out of 10, only 2 are on our database and the other 8 are not. And that's why you find such a huge list of employees that are not declared.
Now, Mr. Maruping, that's very worrying if you're saying over 200,000 employees could find themselves out in the cold. Is there anything you can do about this at all?
What we've done at this stage, we've returned to these employers and we just asked them to explain why they've applied for employees that are not in our records. We're anticipating that these companies will send us an explanation or send us a payroll. What we're also doing will be engaging SARS. Actually, on Monday we're meeting SARS to see if we can compare data, and SARS can help us from their payroll to see if these companies have really declared these employees. And if we can find the records of these employees, either with SARS or with the company sending to us, we'll be able to pay, because the calculation has already been done. We just need to click the button and pay them.
So for those who have been compliant, for those that are on your system, what percentage of their salaries can they expect?
It's between 38 and 60% of their salary, but they will not get no less than 3.5. So if our calculation gives you 2,000 rands, we'll raise it up to 3.5. But they'll also not get more than 6.7 thousand rands.
Okay, so there are different tiers.
Yes, there's different tiers for each employee.
Okay. One of the things that came into question was the capacity to handle, for the UIF's capacity to handle large volumes of claims. Have you enhanced your capacity at all?
We've enhanced our platform, but we are just as worried that if a flood of companies continue to apply, we may not be able to handle the pressure. And our minister has communicated this, and so has the Director General. And that is the reason why we are engaging SARS to make sure that if all companies apply at once, and we need to process as we are doing now, because right now we are paying within 24 hours at best, and within 48 hours at worst. So we want to keep that turnaround time. And, as I said earlier, we're meeting SARS tomorrow to explore how else they can help us.
Okay, so up to this particular point, let's talk about the payments that you've made out and how many claims you've actually processed. This is in relation to COVID-19.
Up to this point, we've processed 59,000 employer applications, paying about 862,000 employees to the tune of 3.2 billion rands. So effectively, we have doubled the numbers from what the President announced on Tuesday. we've already doubled the numbers in a matter of days.
Okay. Now, there are some people that are employed that will not be able to claim from UIF, people that earn commission and so forth. I mean, what happens to these people that are kind of like outside that system?
Well, we are banking on one thing, that if you're a commission earner, you have an employer-employee relationship with your company. And some of the commission earners, they have a basic salary, then they top it up with a commission. What you're looking for is an average salary for a period that you can use to calculate the benefit due to the individual.
Okay. All right. Thank you for explaining a lot of things to us, and also good luck in terms of the, the payments that you still have to make and assisting many of the workers out there, the COVID-19 relief for workers. That is the Unemployment Insurance Fund Commissioner Teboho Maruping talking to us here on ENCA.